My video here is on relative age effect. Villora, Vicido and Cordent 2015 suggests that relative age effect, RAE, refers to asymmetry in the birth date distribution favouring players born early in the selection year and discriminating against participants born later in the year. This will be explained more in greater detail later on. A reference from Thompson et al. 2004 explains that RAE is strikingly evident in activities that are competitive and where performance is highly correlated with age and the level of maturity. The picture above this reference is Everton's Ross Barkley playing when he was younger, which looks to be a youth game potentially in a final because there's quite a big stand of empty seats behind him, and because he's young, the chances are he's playing with people at the same age as him, in the same age group. You can quite clearly see the difference between his physical presence compared to his opposition player tackling him. It looks like there's a 3 to 4 year age gap when they're actually the same age, which shows RAE can play a factor, and it depends how you mature and at what age, so it's hard to group the players and make it fair. A reference from Albuquerque et al. Suggests that RAE may be absent in sports based on technical skills relative to the physical demands, but in some sports playing positions appear to influence RAE. Football, especially at younger ages, can be dominated massively by the relative age effect. For example, big physical players tend to be put in defence at centre half because they can head the ball and be physical, and the smaller, quicker players tend to be thrown up front or on the wings to utilise their pace, or, to be quite frank, not cause the team problems due to a lack of height. I'll cover some examples of this on the next slide. The picture on this slide here is of Per Mertesacker of Arsenal next to Santi Cazorla. As you can see, there's a clear height difference. Mertesacker is 6'5", I think, and he's not very mobile. He finds turning quickly quite hard, and if a player gets on the wrong side of him, he won't be able to keep up because he's very slow. However, he is very good at his defensive duties. So, because he's tall, this all links to RE because he must have been put in defence as a kid because he'd be able to deal with balls and head them away. The second picture here is Aaron Lennon. He's small and quick, which goes with my example, and he's a winger, so he's obviously played on the wing as a kid, at the early specialisation in football, and he's carried that on into the Premier League. And finally, this is Peter Crouch of Stoke up against Jay Spearing when he was playing for Liverpool. He sort of counteracts the argument of relative age effect from a young age of big players being in defence, because Peter Crouch is a striker and he's quite successful at what he does. He's not muscular, and he's quite technically gifted as well, so it does show that players aren't always determine the positions from the RAE effect. A reference here suggests combat sports, for example Taekwondo and Judo, have different weight categories which may be conducive to RAE. The picture here is just an example of a mismatch in competition. The guy on the left's really small and the other guys will be big and slow, but it'll be hard for to be a fair fight. It's important to put them into weight categories to make it more fair, so age can't always matter. There is much belief and evidence that people born between August to October have an advantage over individuals born later on in the year, which is May to July. This is believed because they have more time to develop. The graphic here shows clearly that World Cup youth soccer players, there's a higher percentage of players born in August and October than made it going through the year until May to July, where there's less than 10%. A solution could be to use bile banding to avoid RAE. This involves using parental height, which determines how tall a player will be when they are fully grown. Players are grouped together based on what percentage of their adult height they have achieved. Someone who will be smaller than adult will still be playing against taller players, but the ratio will be equal when they are eventually fully grown.